secret up your sleeve could be the difference maker for Gambit.
Well, it's the #1 versus the #2, a chance to snatch the crown. And speaking of two guys who are #1 and #2 in my heart, I'll leave you to figure out which is which. It's Harry and Hugo.
Wow, Mike, thank you so much for calling me #1, man, like that. And Hugo, you'll always be my #2.
Oh, you always come first, so it's fine. You know, you are the best. We'll leave it at that. Everyone knows it. A banging matchup, a banging grand final to close out the CIS RMR. And we've had, you know, a really good tournament from both these teams, right? Gambit have been flexing their way through the group. Na'Vi as well, the team that has always struggled taking on the CIS opposition, yet to drop a series. This is going to be so much fun. Ancient as well, if we get there, and we're all praying for it. Bit started off, he's found that opening pick down middle, and he's gotten out without any danger. Still leaning 4 on B. Na'Vi are not convinced by that one kill. They don't see much more. Shiro's P250, which can be a nightmare to get through on these pistol rounds. He's going to reset after clearing long A and go back to that lower site.
Yeah, keep your eye on Big Shiro, man. This P250 in his hands, deadly, and he's having a phenomenal time at this event. Top-rated player right now. Nafany's going to set up his team with the flash. Na'Vi still leaning heavy into this B bomb site. And there's that little heaven pop thrown in from Boomich. You would have loved to get something out of it, but instead the kills go either which way, rather. It's a 3-on-3 and simple. The only man left up in the site is brushed aside. Hobbit with a little double opener. And Gambit, they've turned this around from the early 4-on-5 to a 3-on-1 post plant. Just Boomich left, and they know where he was. He was setting them up with flashes. That leaves only one place on your mind. You know he's coming in through CT or Heaven, and so everyone on Gambit is just playing around this bomb.
Yeah, no way you're going to get away with the stick. You've got to thin the herd. You've got to pick them apart, and that's a good start. Shiro gone, Hobbit backed up, and Meaty needs to run. Boomich taps it. A stick may have worked.
Bro, if only he stuck it.
Yeah, they're rushing him down. No chance, no room, no breathing for Boomich as Hobbit finds 4 in that pistol round, coming in with a USP and defending his planter and letting Gambit fall back into that safety of B short and monster.
Yeah, you know, I really like the Overpass pick for Gambit. I think, you know, if you want to look at their way to overtake Na'Vi on the world stages, I think it kind of hinges around this map in a sense. Like, it's been a very, very, you know, rough map for Na'Vi in spite of their astronomic rise. The one map that always looks concerning and, you know, not the word I want to say, but I'll use it anyway, almost feels amateurish out of Na'Vi when compared to how good this team is Overpass. And so, you know, with Gambit being so proficient here, I think it sets us up for a 3-map grand final, and I wouldn't want anything else.
Yeah, I mean, Gambit flexed their muscles against Entropic on Mirage yesterday, but this is not Entropic. Na'Vi are here to stay, here to play. Bit going to get jumping Mac 10 finished off. No fear from Nafany in getting that trade. It's a huge swing kill to keep Gambit's guns up and let them reset for this round. So experienced on this map as well, claiming to be the best in the world at it. We got a little bit fearful in that matchup against Fours, but the fact that Gambit can, you know, pull these games, these 15-8 comebacks on this map, win them out in overtime, it just shows the, you know, the mettle they're bringing to the table. Na'Vi gambled wrong as Gambit go quiet. They are going to get the info early by pushing up, but at this point, you're probably looking to double save again and play around the USPs next round. There's some guns to be grabbed, a Mac 10 here and there, but Gambit are going to be happy taking that plant on B. Na'Vi looking like they want to give it a go, but the only danger is the short plant. You don't have that control. Na'Vi is sneaking in.
Yeah, there's a good chance Na'Vi can do some damage here. There's a good chance they can find success. They're moving in on the short side, and there's the first kill for Electronic. Perfecto waiting for a late peek out of Heaven, hoping his teammates can draw attention away, but he gets caught. Never mind, Axel dead in the pit. Interns has got to do it all. They're moving in. Little gap in the smoke, and Electronic gets the better of him. And you can almost feel that destined to come through for Na'Vi, right? With the short plant down and no short control for Gambit, that also being the avenue for Na'Vi's retake. It alleviated a lot of the pressure of that situation, right? You no longer have to worry about, you know, pesky T-side players just playing the time on that bomb. They really have no choice but to hang around and fight you at that point. And Inters can't pull it off in what was the 1v2.
Yeah, you really can't tuck there if you're Gambit. You've got to take fights like you said. So that's a really awkward round to lose, but I love how decisive it is for Na'Vi. At no point do they question, should we be going for this? Are we sure we want to retake? We can just cut our losses with Galil's here. But no, they go right in and they win it with plenty of time remaining. That's forced the Force back from Gambit. 2 rifles and 3 pistols. Na'Vi already throwing a spanner in the works early in this matchup. Getting rid of the Galil here, which is on its own in middle, could be of huge value. Simple's looking to do so. Pushed up in mid. He's hunting him down, but it's awkward. Oh, the slide almost sucks the shots, but Simple does recover the spray and keep Na'Vi up a man. Gambit see the monster smoke. They don't look deterred. Still 2 players peeking deep into B. Na'Vi, a very passive setup here. This is a classic, right? Electronic in the water position. So one thing that does give you a lot of hope towards this B bomb site for Na'Vi at times. And Gambit have got to get through it. Easier said than done.
Oh, Electronic mops up. Nafany moving in through Monster. And really any hope of finding anything in this round is out the window now for Gambit. You know, I dream of a world where we can see Na'Vi get back to form on Overpass. I really do.
Here's the thing, though. It's not their CT sides, right? It is coming down to that T-side half where, you know, it was teams like even Fours, you know, let's think back. I know it's traumatizing. Let's think back to that Fours Gambit game where, you know, it should have been Fours. They had a hell of a lead. They had match point way earlier in the BO1.
15-8.
15-8. And a lot of, like, 5-on-3s, 5-on-4s that they just ballsed up. It was a bit of a shame to see, but it's something that Na'Vi have done as well. Not necessarily the leads, but just not being able to convert T rounds, you know, coming down to these really late executes that don't favor them, losing to time. And, you know, these are things that maybe we'd look at Na'Vi of old, but they've actually gotten really better on maps like Inferno, which we saw yesterday against VP, a lot of dynamic pace changes. It feels like Na'Vi haven't quite figured out the T side of this map, so they need a really good first half here, Harry.
Oh, Bit taking a mid peek. He's only got pistols to go up against. He's on a farm round, and oh, wow.
Nice nade.
There we go. Boomage coming in with the trade, and Simple decides, like, yeah, I'll just shoot him. I think bullets are their weakness, guys. I'll get them. And so he runs through that mid-smoke, locks in the conversion. You only lose Bit. Something I was going to say is, the thing that makes this a little more interesting, and obviously, you know, Simple's tweet alluded to this yesterday, in that the stakes aren't incredibly high, right, for a grand final. Obviously, both these teams are already at the major. I know you're playing for the prestige. You want to try and maintain that #1 spot in the world if you're Na'Vi, and Gambit are looking to show that they can beat them. But what I was going to say is, it wouldn't surprise me if Na'Vi play a little more fast and loose, and I think that's going to do their T side a hell of a lot of favors, right? We already saw that out of Gambit just yesterday in the semi-finals. Rush down in mid, Axal opens up. Simple is here, ready to hold the line. That could have been the collateral, but somehow it's Hobbit right at the back that is found by that AWP, and Axal's going to trade it out. Rotation's now being called for. Electronic has moved up into this A bomb site to join Boomich. They've got to hold the fort in a 2-on-4, essentially. Now make that a none-v4 as Gambit go running in, uncontested.
I would love to flash for that play, right, for Na'Vi to just re-aggress. Gambit stop for a moment to take stock, set up some util. And Simple, what a flick. It's such a shame it was the headshot, though, because if it was a body, it would have been a collat, almost certainly from that angle. Yeah, like you said, he picked Hobbit out of the back of the pack. Crazy kill either way, but by and large, meaningless in this round. Perfecto has to save, and they're already trying to hunt him. Shiro looking to get on the board with a late lurk out through Monster. Yeah, no, that's a good point you make, though, about how those T-sides for Gambit in that Mirage game, at least. Obviously, you know, less respect against Entropic than they would have against Na'Vi, but was super exciting. I wonder if we get that looser style out of Na'Vi as well. Could do them a lot of favors. We'll have to wait and see. Because at the same time, right, you talk about, oh yeah, this one doesn't really hold a lot of meaning in the sense of like going to the major, they're both there. But at the same time, Na'Vi, I mean, we saw that quote from Simple on the desk prior to this game. It was talking about how he wants to keep winning. He doesn't want to be fighting for 1 or 2. He just wants to stay winning, be the best. And we've always known that to be the simple way. On top of that, when Gambit and Na'Vi have played this year, Gambit have actually come out on top more times. However, in grand finals, it has been Na'Vi, you know, the bulk of the time, 2 out of 3, taking those grand finals. You don't want to level that stat. You want to make it increase. So, yeah, in a grand final that's been reduced to this BO3 with a map pool that does set us up for a 3-mapper, I'm happy to see Ancient. I really hope we get there. Not had enough of it this tournament. Na'Vi did run it in the group, but still a lot to be seen here. Could probably be the highest level of Ancient play we've seen yet on this new map, especially with a new patch with open bomb plants, with wall bangs. All that and more later, though. It's a B-rush.
Yeah, in comes Axel leading from the front. And well, he's opened up. Will get traded by Perfecto, but no good deed goes unpunished for Na'Vi there. And with the B site having fallen so dominantly, you're really left in a spot where, you know, you take a little look in. This first fight mattered a hell of a lot, and with it going in favor of Gambit, you're probably just saving. Now, Boomich could try and change our minds on that. He certainly could. Hobbit holding close. Ooh, yeah, now that Boomich is knocked out, Simple just wants to hold on to this AWP. But if you take a look at your minimap, you'll see that Shiro has already been dispatched to try and remove that AWP from play, to deny the save.
Oh, dear. Oh, dearie me. Simple missed shot. He's going to go back, and he hits the flick. Getting to the bank to survive from the bomb should be fine. As Gambit take a third, they build into this game so unsteady. Shiro's been all over the hunt patrol right now, right? Looking for Perfecto and B. And now chasing Simple with an AWP on A. But nice little pop out of Gambit as well. They only have, you know, 3 players entering there, and it's enough to get them in, get the bomb down. Shiro, that kill essentially wins the round, right? Even though Na'Vi get lulled back into B off of a frag from Boomich, we had really nice crossfire setups. No one swung on Hobbit's contact, meaning Simple couldn't get a pick towards short, and at that point Na'Vi have to throw in the towel. Now they keep the AWP, but that will be all that we see in this round.
Obviously as well, you know, it was Simple's birthday yesterday. Part of me wonders, you know, like, did he just have a quiet night in, you know, go to bed early, ready for the grand final?
What are you implying?
I don't know, like, you know, was he celebrating his birthday? There's nothing wrong with that, like, no. But does that impact you, you know?
Night out on the town, perhaps?
Well, Hugo, as someone who can relate to the whole birthday speech, it's your birthday now.
Really?
Yeah. Are you, you know, are you getting wrecked tonight?
I don't think I can, Harry. The hotel bar, the drinks, you know, like, I've got to take out a second mortgage.
Yeah, it is expensive.
I think I just play some CS. Watch some CS, play some CS. What else you need?
B-rush, Perfecto. Deeg's gone and come up trumps here, and it's only one. Short player dead. And Simple in the site with the AWP. They're already up and past him. He's not ready for that.
He's warming in. We're seeing Simple attempt his typical flicks. They're not connecting yet, but they're coming. There's a time. Think about, you know, Simple, often called the main character of Counter-Strike. Think about yesterday where he whiffed that AWP shot. He then goes on to buy a scout.
With the scout.
Gets mad. He buys a scout, and then he 3Ks to close the semi-final. You know, we've seen it happen before. Those kind of kills, those kind of misses, rather, can only pump you up if you're someone like Simple. So let's see if that's what it does, because right now we've still got money for a rebuy. That was a saved AWP, it's no problem. Na'Vi can reinvest. Gambit, though, right now looking punishing on these B executes. They're keeping them low and slow, keeping them basic, smoke on default, flash over the top, and Gambit seems to be getting these entries round after round.
Man, yeah, little sad that, like, that's the round you get B-rushed, right? Especially with Perfecto attempting the monster peek. It's always, like, one of the worst things when you're trying to peek monster. That first flash comes over and you go, well, you know, you already know what's happening. You already know what's coming your way. You know, now they have guns back out, though. And AWP on Simple still making another appearance.
I do find it funny how we see no teams really go for this T-spawn 5-man boost on the T side. Of course, you're not going to do it against Na'Vi. Simple's usually holding for it at the start of rounds when he has reads, but it's become so meta now, it's become so expected. The teams at the top level are actually stray away from it. Obviously, there are downsides as well as it, you know, drawing you out of map control, wasting time, and sometimes you find nothing from it. But interesting note, we've seen a lot of Overpass this tournament. We haven't seen that once, so Na'Vi a man up. Flash ready to pop Hobbit in, but Bit, that's a crazy fight to take. He just jumps on top of Dumpster and mauls Hobbit at the gate. 3 CTs on A. We've got Simple doubling back on long, and Bit is getting that information early.
Oh, miss shot out of Simple.
By a scout.
Now they know about him over on the long side. That molly might force a fight out of Simple, but it actually misses. Oh, and he does still take the fight regardless, going up and over on the dice box. And Gambit, you know, you might just be left saving here. Holding on to that AWP is a nice little bonus, and you know, you're not thrilled about letting Na'Vi have a flawless round. You kind of had them right where you wanted them. You know, their backs constantly against the wall, constantly close to breaking that money, and now you let them start to establish themselves a little bit. Not a nice call to have to make, but really one of the only calls you were left with after going 3 men down and none of them getting traded. Yeah.
No CIS team is against saving, you know, in these kind of rounds, and you really shouldn't be. We've seen this this become far more meta over the course of the last 2 years as well. Sometimes just accepting the result, accepting the inevitable is the right way about it. So Gambit, they still got money on the rest of their players. They can come back in with a buy. Simple, couple of misses, but this one was a freebie for him, and that decided the round as well. Nice round out of Bit. Na'Vi 4-4. Keeping Gambit on their toes, but, you know, going even on a half here against Gambit on the T side of their map pick, that's not good for Na'Vi. They need to take a significant lead, I would say, in the CT half, unless we've got a very different looking T side from what we've seen from Na'Vi on this map as of late.
Yeah, you know, for me, I'm kind of eyeing up something like a 10-5, and even then, like, I can never discount Gambit. That's the problem. Bit looking crisp, man. That AUG fires off and secures the double, and suddenly we're back into another one of these 2-on-5s. Now, Gambit, they don't want to be left saving again, right? The round's only just started, and already that's creeping into your mind. Axel traded after the first, and Shiro just a couple of seconds too late. He's going to throw the AWP out the map, so that suggests he is looking to go for this, right?
Yeah, you don't want a back-to-back save, get your rounds decided for you within seconds. You may as well look to actually chip away at that money. Even getting 2 more kills here for Shiro and then dying would have implications for Na'Vi if rounds were to be lost. The last thing you want is to let those CTs build up this 10K, you know, backpack of money, and then suddenly you're just never going to be able to break it. And that's how we could get a 10-5 off the back of these finances. Boomich is even playing safe in spawn. He's not full flanking yet. Now Shiro making steps, and Boomich can go as Shiro looks for this opener into B. No one's offering it up. Simple's moved in for the kill. Shiro not ready for the close position, and it's Na'Vi again, keeping it nice and clean. 4 alive, no money troubles yet. Gambit still going to be able to buy for a couple more here at least. And at that point, the loss bonus kicks in. So, you know, it's a T-side effect. You can get a lot more buys, especially if you're getting bomb plants. And so Gambit are not complaining.
Yeah, I almost wonder if we see them just go back into a B play. A lot of these attempts at taking mid control away from Bit and Simple just haven't worked out for Gambit, right? And it's only since they've looked towards taking mid and going towards A that this has started to turn against them, and they feel that as well. They don't want to give up mid control entirely, right? Even if you're going for a B play, it makes a lot of sense to go and clear middle first. Make sure that Na'Vi aren't grabbing that information. You try to keep bodies up on this A bomb site. And so we've got this little, you know, duo stack of Gambit players trying to clear out long, force a bit of respect out of Na'Vi. Now this does leave them in the firing line of Simple. while this is going on, Gambit are actually in the B site. They are inside of Na'Vi's bomb site, and with Simple knocked out over at long, in tandem with Axar's pick into B, this might be, I was going to say a dumb round. Electronic has made it a little more interesting, right? You're going to maybe float the idea of giving this a look in, but being real, you're so far away on Bit that these two B players are all alone, and Boomich is creeping in like he wants to go for this. Oh my, playing the trigger discipline. Hobbit will trade that from under heaven. And now it is just that save call for Na'Vi. And yeah, Gambit, man, I mean, this B-bomb site feels remarkably easy to take, I would say.
Na'Vi is so scattered in that round as well, because I'm so shocked that Gambit even commit. It's not like they got that long pick and then they popped into B. The B play was the first thing that happened in the round. Once they took a bit of fountain control, they knew Na'Vi were playing a little more safe. They didn't have Bit up in their grill and party. And then as the B pick comes in, like you said, Shiro drops Simple. What that does to Bit is it ruins his round. He is stuck here at long after this kill. He was playing close anyway, and he's just never able to get involved because you're scared of Shiro, who immediately leaves and joins in with the B play.
Yeah, you know, and if I had to guess right, the whole idea there, right, because as those two players push into B, the bomb's actually waiting outside a monster, not committed. You know, exactly what happens, like you execute B, and then what that does is the players on A suddenly have a reason to like go for peaks, just to solidify like whether or not that B play is a fake, try to claim some real estate back, and so it actually baits Simple into Shiro's AWP over at long, and at that point you got two picks, mate. You just need to follow through on either bomb site, and you're on to a winner.
Yeah, the call, oh my goodness, Bit, he's doing it again, almost Mauls 3 this time. Oh my goodness. Get that AWP out of there, or at least play with it. Electronics moving up connector. Perfecto's push monster. Has he been heard? He's only playing for the spot, just trying to deny more potential position for Gambit and get an early warning that they're resetting. Info goes both ways, but it is A after all. Electronic gonna flank again. Oh no, Harry, it's a classic. You guys go A. I'll plant B. It's not Shiro doing it, but it's Gambit trying their best, trying their
Come on, dog. You can't do this to Na'Vi.
The silliest play. Na'Vi, it's will Perfecto rotate? That's the question.
You can't do this.
With some of these rounds we've seen out of Gambit, committing into bomb sites with 2-3 players and not even having the bomb there, like, Na'Vi should be ready for something like this. They shouldn't rotate.
Like, doing it to Entropic when you're wrecking them is one thing, but, mate, doing it to Na'Vi, I don't know. Boomich will trade that out. The rotation's coming up. Perfecto, he is going to take up a stance in heaven. They don't buy it. This little bit of utility is trickling in, and that has now drawn these players up and away from the B site. Nafany is dead, and so Inters needs the 1v3 clutch to win this round. It's a last-second bomb plant down on B. Na'Vi, much like Entropic, didn't realize it's taken them a long old time to realize this as well, and it's given Inters a long while to get into position. Now, the bomb is not planted for Inters here. It looks like it was a short plant, but that's kind of the element of surprise he's going for. Now, it does hinge on not letting Na'Vi get into the site, and with so many players already having crossed, this is not going to be easy for Inters. They're on the bomb, they're sticking it, and yeah, Boomich, perfect call there. You spot where the guy is, and you go, well, it's not planted for him, I just win the round.
Yeah, that's a really nice try for Inters. It does look silly when the defuse comes in, but if he plays towards short, he plays towards
it was
monster,
all misinformation is what he's trying to give, right?
He's going to get locked out by utility, and he knows that as well. You know, even if there's no util for Na'Vi, two people could hold short and make sure he can't swing the defuse there. He at least gets 2 kills out of that one, and that was a very difficult round at one moment in time for Gambit. 3-on-5 with Nafany low. And look at what they make it. They make it a 1-on-1. They do a lot of damage. They get a bomb plant. Of course, you want the round win. But Gambit, they just keep Na'Vi guessing. They never let them get comfortable. And I'm loving some of these T-sided rounds out of them.
Nafany's been playing a little too much CIS MM. I'm convinced, man. Those are classic calls. Like, it happened once in like a 64 tick pug he was playing. Someone said, guys, you go A, I plant B, and it worked. And he went, wow, that's genius. We need to start doing that.
Yeah, it's just like at a certain level as well, there's an expectation of how your opponent's going to play. There's a meta, and so Na'Vi is just not expecting such bold moves from Gambit. And you're right, it did take a second for Na'Vi to realize, because you're talking, you're not thinking about the bomb sound, you're just looking for that last man. Lovely shot for Nafany to finally take down Bit, who has been on top of the world with these opening kills, but right now they're all Gambits. Double entry into A, and you just got the bomb site like that. You talk about how easy Gambit have been able to burst their way into B executes. Well, this one is just dry as they walk up into the site. The bomb will be late, but Na'Vi are already thinking about giving it up.
Yeah, I don't think you're even going to budge here if you're Na'Vi. You just say, well, you know, we tried, boys. Can't win them all.
It puts Bit 4-2 in opening duels. So, down that little bit now, but he's certainly had his impact in the early round. That's why Gambit getting rid of the two top performers of Na'Vi is a feel-good moment to begin that one. And yeah, for Na'Vi now, like, oh, you're joking, Hobbit. Okay. You are joking. That was picture perfect. It's like you could see the outline.
Man, they're really looking to deny the save. And, oh my God, Boomich. Oh, will you get away? They're hounding him down. They're chasing him. Boomich does not want to part ways with this AK. And as long as he tucks, he should be fine. Okay.
He got wallbanged?
He did get wallbanged, yeah.
Through the wood.
Through the, not even the big wood, the little
small wood. Oh my goodness. I was going to go God there, but yeah, a bit of both. Divine intervention perhaps from Gambit. Everything, all the wallbangs, man, that's all you need.
Imagine that, dude, you're just trying to hide. Like, Boomich did the putt. He doubles up and he goes, well, I'm going to get off the angle. I'll just live if I run away.
Yeah, well,
and then...
oh, that's the wrong number.
Dude, that is saddening for Na'Vi. The worst part about that is when you write a round off to save and then you end up losing the guns anyway. It's like the most horrible feeling, because it's like, great, you know, we didn't even give that a go and we get none of the benefits of saving. You got this one M4 on Perfecto. That's the extent of it. And with Gambit already set a man up, you know, they're starting to take shape now. They're looking to run away with this half, and this round is, you know, well, this round's really kind of the turning point for that. Yeah, it's going to put them 7-6 up, money broken for Na'Vi. And at that point, you know, you imagine Gambit have at least won out the half at a bare minimum. But as mentioned, you know, they've got Na'Vi right where they want them, constantly just a round away from having their money broken. And so everything kind of feels like a 2-for-1 if you're Gambit at this point.
Oh, Electronics going through, or not. Decides against it, and the 4-on-5 Gambit is still waiting for that next move to be made from Na'Vi, and they don't want to be the ones to give it up. In fact, they've still got a rifle. There's still reason to believe in this round. Gambit is showing face towards A, making some noise, keeping 3 on that top site. Electronic, there's nothing he can do. The 5-7 is locked out at range. Finally, Perfecto is here in time, but time for what is the question? Trying to drop the bomb on the cross. He's not going to be able to. It's already out. Shiro's got the opener. Hobbit sticking it down, and now Shiro looking to stop that retrieval. The one rifle, he's done it with style. Electronic gone as well, and Shiro lights out round. It's what we needed from him. It was a bit of a slow start. He hasn't been needed to, you know, be a key piece of the puzzle here for Gambit. He's won his head-to-head with Simple the only time he's been given it on the AWP on long. He's been lurking to get rid of kills at the end. That is more likely for Shiro. Just gets involved, gets the juices flowing.
And as mentioned, you know, like that was actually the kind of better chance for Na'Vi to find a round, right? Now they're on to just flat pistols, not even armor behind them. And they full stack over in mid in the toilets. I like this as a bit of a gamble, right? You're trying to bait Gambit into the toilets, into the madness that is this 5-man stack. And sometimes throwing a player out there to go and die, that can be the way to sell it. I hope it's Boomich who does that, right? He's only got the USP.
Shiro didn't even see it, but he's cautious, he's careful. Maybe he saw something, because he looked very ready for that one. Lots of players spotted. Shiro get them eeks, baby. 2 kills. Nafany moves through a Molotov. He hunts down a couple more. And it's nice and clean for Gambit. It was always going to be 8-6, half one as you expected. And now this is it for Na'Vi, just looking for scraps on their CT side.
Yeah, we got Big Simple bringing the AWP out. He's going to have that at the very, very least heading into the final round of the half. With 5 rifles out for Gambit still, I almost feel like this is going to be another one of these B-pops, man. Oh no, Nafany's juggling an AWP into play, looking to leave that behind so that if anyone gets tagged or if Shiro wants it, you know, if his spawn-based play doesn't work out, you can trade onto that AWP and look a little better.
Oh, the aggro.
Set up, and he's waiting for the push. He's waiting to get rewarded, and he plays the trigger discipline. Oh, the turn from Electronic. He's able to keep it in a 4-on-4, and that right there might have just saved Na'Vi's bacon. Over in Con,
no.
Shiro's been heard. They know about him now, and Simple just decides he wants no part in that fight. Backs up, plays it safe. Gambit grouping for a B play. While Inters is all the way up long.
But it's a classic Gambit B hit, yeah, with Inters long, with Shiro still making noise and connected. Gambit are just trying to catch Na'Vi with their pants down. Simple's just rotated in to take Monster. This is a perfect timing, but not the flick again. Axel with the entry. Electronic loses his fight, and now it's only Perfecto who needed that trade to keep this round up in the air, and even then, it's tumbling down. Nafany dinked, gets out alive, and Bit realizes, okay, this guy has not crossed into the site. I know what Gambit have been doing. They've been faking us out. Let me reset myself. It's the right call to make. He's not got a kit, so he's going to try and fight for the bomb site. Coming up on long is Inters ahead of Nafany. Bit, this is a kill for the half right now, and he might just die. Look at the wrong way. Gambit, 9 rounds on their T side. It's their map pick, and they're showing Na'Vi how it's done.
Gambit open strong in the CIS Grand Final. They're spearheading the way right now on their map pick of Overpass. Na'Vi lagging only slightly behind, right? Still in with a chance here, but we have said it's the T side where sometimes these problems crop up for Na'Vi. Gambit faced no such issue. We also know what the Gambit CT side is capable of, so you don't envy Na'Vi's position here. Gambit 3 to the good. And hoping that a pistol round victory could make this a very quick affair indeed.
Yeah, really speed things up, wouldn't it? Simple is lurking B. Bomb is outside of Monster with the util on Boomage. Just going to set them up into short. That will force Shiro to leave. But he actually re-aggresses immediately. Gambit leaning very heavy on B. We're already seeing similarities for Na'Vi, except they're going to begin to rotate. Boomage takes the bomb back up. Simple still tucked at Monster. He's getting flanked right now. He just turns, but it's not enough. Even before the flash pops, Shiro's got the shot. Now Na'Vi run it up to A. Gambit here, everything.
Axel tagged in the site and is here all alone. They're rushing him down through the smoke. It's a Gambit classic. They love pushing the dumpster smokes. But that's why Perfecto is hot on the angle. Bit's going to nail the first man in. That's Hobbit dropped out of the round, and suddenly 2-on-3, the script flipped on its head. They're trying to pressure this bank man. They're trying to get ahead of him, but you can't beat the bank. You can't beat them. Try as you might, the house always wins. Perfecto 1v2. And now they get onto the truck. The bomb not planted for, and that's a kit as well. They're just sticking it. They won't give him the fight. And so the round is won for Gambit with the stick.
Yeah, I can't count anymore how many games, how many rounds I've seen lost to just the truck plant, right? Na'Vi obviously kind of have to go for something like that because they don't have this short info, and if they plant next to truck, it's open to bank, but Na'Vi try and take that bank control, and that's what lets them down. Even if they, get the kills, the bomb is not for that position. It's a lot easier going bank than dumpster because, you've got more angles to worry about in dumpster. They can come from below, they can wrap from the left side. Bank is just one choke point at least, but it doesn't give Na'Vi any salvation as Gambit just get the kit on the bomb and stick the round. Oh my goodness. It's got to hurt for Na'Vi. They got all the entries there. Bit of Perfecto, lights out openers, all for nothing. We now have a scout, an AK, and a couple of little pistols here for Na'Vi and Gambit. You said a pistol is how they can run away with it. Well, sometimes this round can be even harder. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Flash into middle. Axel makes a move, but he gets spotted right at the end of it, so gonna give it up. Oh dear.
Yeah, Axel's stuck fighting here, and so he needs support. His toilet player didn't want to hang around after taking that advantage, and with Simple besting Hobbit over in con, there's weapons to be retrieved. Suddenly, the little buy that could has really armed itself, right? You've got this M4, you've got the scout on Perfecto. If he's able to tag up some of these players, he can make it very easy for the rest of his team. There's the dumpster smoke going up and over. Not that that does too much to Gambit. Over at the truck. MP9 tucked in on Nafany. There's the first. Can't follow up and will get bested by Electronic. They never knew about Shiro over here at long, and so he's denied that bomb plant. This trade needs to happen, and it needs to happen quickly. Shiro won't let them back in. The AK retrieved, but 8 bullets. He doesn't have the ammo, and Shiro's going to take his head off with the USP.
Yeah, we see the danger of only sort of half buying into that for Na'Vi. We had a couple of players with Kevlar, but not all of them, and suddenly the SMGs, the A1S, they're churning through these armorless players. Shiro's one-tapped Perfecto with no helmet, with no armor at all. So, yeah, it looked really good for Na'Vi, but they never consider that third man in the bomb site, or just a little bit away, I guess. Now it's another rebuy for Na'Vi, no bomb plant, but they don't care, and I really like this buy. It is ballsy, but it's 4 AKs. It's far better than what you would expect if you're Gambit. Boomage going to lead the pack. He's having a great game, but he's here to be traded more than anything. Jumping up, there's Hobbit with a kill, and now we need Perfecto to find something, but with door off, you're scared of boost, you're scared of spam, and Perfecto doesn't care. Still taking that trade as Bit opens long A. Electronic, he's getting fed as well. It's going great for Na'Vi right now. Gambit caught by surprise.
Yeah, I really like the pace we're getting out of Na'Vi already on this T side as well, right? You're no longer worried about them losing rounds to time. They've slowed it down now in the mid-round, but that makes a lot of sense. They're up in this 4-on-2. They know all the pressure is on Gambit. Inters clears out Monster. This at least gives you the kind of forewarning that it's likely the A play, right? On the back of him not seeing anything. But is it the A play? That bomb's still floating around. If he finds Electronic here... Ooh, instead, Electronic more than aware of the protocols, the decisions that might get made in a moment like that, and that's going to force the rotation out of Shiro, leaving him high and dry away from the A bomb site where that bomb is heading. And so this is a Na'Vi round. The 4 AKs get the job done. Boomich is that sacrificial lamb. It wasn't all in vain.
Yeah, you got to take one for the team sometimes. You're not always going to be getting those openers, but damn, now we get everything else in the round. And that's one way to, you know, get ahead of the rifle rounds early, not have to just full eco, run Glocks and get rolled for a 12th. Na'Vi immediately bite back with a more standard plant as well. So you know nothing can go wrong. Toilets post plants are so powerful when you have rifles there, especially if you've got more than one man in toilets. It almost feels impossible to get a retake going. Not that Shiro was ever planning to do so. So 7 rounds for Na'Vi, slow and steady wins the race. And like you said, a faster T-side pace. That's reassuring. Of course, these are early rounds, but we'll have to see how it goes when guns come out, when that AWP is available for Shiro. Na'Vi, yeah, already good signs to start the second half.
Yeah, I think it's only beneficial as well that Electronic is keeping up these performances we've seen out of him so far, right? It's going to make these lurks down towards B out of the guy, you know, feel that much more oppressive whenever they go for them. The A lurks out of Na'Vi get a lot better as well ever since Bit joined this squad, and that role kind of, you know, moved away from Boomich being the guy over there. It feels like, you know, it's only made a better case for this map for Na'Vi.
Absolutely. Boomich has really good utility as well. I feel like that's something that's not often talked about. Not necessarily like the utility damage, but his flashes are really nice. And obviously, as every in-game leader, you know, has a volley of smokes, has more than enough. And so it's good to see him with the pack, even if he's going in first and getting traded. There's nothing wrong with that. If not, he can set up his team, rather than these lurks that can often be very hard to find timings from. And for someone like Bit, who is, you know, incredibly talented individually, you know, sometimes you see those rounds where he's walking up toilets, he doubles up while Na'Vi are outside of B, and that just completely ruins any CT setup.
Yeah. You know, I think as well, like... It just kind of, you know, for me it makes sense because Na'Vi do like to go for these kind of very patient rounds, and it always feels like you can feel the pacing better when you are in with the bulk of the team, right?
Oh, wow.
Shiro on. Axile caught over in middle, but that's the bomb. Out long. Flash is good, and Bit is now dead. Gambit might be about to steal this away with just this little force buy. The AK might have opened, but now the pistols have come in as well. Aid removes Nafany. That's something. That's a step in the right direction. But you've got 20 seconds left, mate. You've got to get this bomb, and then you've got to get it planted, and Shiro will not let that happen. The AK gets 4. The only big gun brought out into the round, and Shiro delivers.
Man, that's sick as well. Prior to these plays from Shiro, he drops all his utility, smoke, molly, double flash to Nafany, who's on that 5-7, and he tucks bank. That allows Nafany to be throwing in utility for Shiro, popping in with flashbangs as well, and he even uses himself as a decoy here, just running into that Molotov, and he, you know, even if he dies there, Shiro is good to trade, but Nafany gets it going, and I love that play as well. We see already a bit more of the util dropping in this grand final than we've seen before, and Shiro, who hasn't had many AWP head-to-heads with Simple, but has won them out when he has taken a leg to the man. Nafany also gets tagged up meanwhile, and a re-aggro for Axile. Very confident play, but he won't be there forever. He goes back with a nade. Hobbit jumps up. Hobbit via Electronic is a fun fight to win. Hobbit gets out alive. He's been spamming him through connector. That's Gambit with a man up, and lots of damage done to Na'Vi. They're still fighting for Con. Axel has no fear, and he almost finishes the low HP Boomich, who has got to duck, dive, and weave back to that B-bomb site.
This is not a nice situation for Na'Vi. It's one where, as much as it sucks to say, because it's still so early on, you could justify, you know, looking for the save here. Bit's the only guy with any HP, but he was also the one player without a gun, so it really does go both ways here for Na'Vi. He's looking for something out in middle.
Spam Nafany, you think? We see a lot of people shoot through that wall, but he's not interested.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to creep into the toilets because it's like they could still be long. They could be playing, you know, one of those full-back angles to just go through the motions in toilets.
Going for a gun, but he's getting backstabbed.
Oh, he will turn and deal with Nafany. But as mentioned, it is that save for Na'Vi, all right? All Bit was doing was looking to arm himself so that he's not coming out of the round with a Deegan armor. And that means Gambit are up onto 13. You might be saying, well, you know, they've at least managed to save some AKs. They've got that AWP in tow. But that's the bulk of the investment they're going to have in this follow-up round. Up against this 13 on the board for Gambit starts to make you a little bit nervous because suddenly there's a lot of onus on this round. If you lose it, you know, you're still broke. Up against 14, no money, and at that point, you're probably just force buying till the end of the game.
Yeah, these buys have already been pretty weak anyway for Na'Vi, right? Considering we've had them, you know, double forcing off the back of losing pistol. It's nice when you win it, but when you don't, this is what you're left with, almost nothing. Boom, it's just no gun, given a tech. Mollied into the playground, delays your take, but Bit just smokes it and goes in nonetheless. Shiro's AWPing long in this round. Maybe we'll get that head-to-head again. Simple's outside B, though. Gambit trusting their pieces to play alone on this A site as well. Na'Vi had a lot of double setups, you know, playing two towards long, playing two in the toilets, but this time Gambit are just doing the inverse. Orb's going to go back to the bomb site, knowing timings could be hit. And Axel, yet to be seen, catches a timing of his own, almost escapes. He goes back, he tucks in. Boomich is here, trying to hunt him down. Shiro steals a kill and saves his life, as a flash will give even more info and space to Axel, who just sometimes doesn't want to quit. Back he goes for more. And Na'Vi group up, but it's another 3-on-5 round decided for you so early on.
Yeah, it's rough as well, because I can remember you saved heading into this one. You were hoping that you could have ended up in a better situation, and now you're in the exact same situation. Simple knows that a play needs to be made, and he was hoping that he could have found something on that short peak, but instead, it's the AWP dropped, it's the bomb cut loose. Na'Vi have got 20 seconds, and really nothing to play for in this round.
Ooh.
Shorts even being aggressed on, you know, Gambit, they are being relentless in shutting down Na'Vi, trying to get in their heads. Yeah. They're all fighting, they're all facing, and they're up onto 14. And we're right in that situation we were talking about. It's force buys till the end of the game now for Na'Vi.
This is more like the T-sides we've seen out of Na'Vi as well. Like, maybe they have a master plan. Maybe they want to just be, you know, taking some map control, getting an early kill, dropping back into the late B play. But we're not even getting to see what Na'Vi want to do, because Gambit will just take dry fights early in the round, whether it's Axel down connector or fighting through middle or the AWP for Shiro on long. They're just looking for early picks, and as soon as they get them, there are no routes back in. Na'Vi have no tradable players. They're all spread default across the map, and we've yet to really get to see and execute from Na'Vi of any capacity. Now you're just running wild because you're on pistols with this hero AK. Perfecto will get that trade on Boomich again, just throwing himself in to be offered up on a plate. It's worth it for Na'Vi. Can they find anything more, though? Because if more fights get won, if this one in Con goes the way of Axel like they all have been, the round is as good as done. Simple's got the bomb here. Axel's tucked. Does Simple check it? These are terrifying rounds for Na'Vi, and they're not getting any better. Not unless a little D can be found, and not today. The bomb's on the ground.
Yeah, it's not as mental as it might seem. Axel isn't in like an incredible spot to watch this bomb. He's got a bare short in mind and top con. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see these B players try to take some semblance of short control, because right now Axel is responsible for just too many angles. Could get caught on timings. There's that creep in through short, and they find Perfecto now. And so suddenly all the pressure's off of Axel. He's going, right, I've got my fullback secured. I've got a way out. I've got an exit strategy. strategy, and that's assuming they even go for the bomb, which Electronic is really in no position to do so.
Yeah, he's not even flanking. I thought he was going to go for it. I mean, Nafany's holding this play anyway, but Electronic, he's just rather get a gun and save or die to the clock. That's such a shame for Na'Vi. You know, they even knew what Gambit's protocol was there. They weren't even super focused on trying to, yeah, he's dead. They weren't even okay, Electronic, 1 second. What are you doing? He's got a gun, goes back just for the kill, but not allowed. And so, you know, Na'Vi weren't even super focused on getting that bomb. Yeah, Bit went down connector. Perfecto's not playing with him. He's holding for the re-aggression. He knows what Gambit are going to do. Like you said, just tying the noose around Na'Vi's neck, entrapping them in the con play, and still Inters hits the shot. Gambit are looking warm and ready. And I don't think we can be too shocked at Overpass, but you know what I am sort of worried about now? This does set us up for a 2-0. Gambit are looking really good. They're going to likely start T-side Mirage. If you think about where that went yesterday against Entropic, yes, a very different team, but Gambit just so loose and so fast on that map. Oh my goodness, now we have wallbangs onto Simple. He's not going to get started in this game. It's looking done, it's looking dusted, and Mirage could be the way for Gambit to 2-0. Na'Vi are going to need to hit the reset switch after this map, because Gambit have made a statement.
Yeah, they really have. You know, it does make you a little nervous. I like to think that Na'Vi can look more comfortable on their Mirage, right? They're on a bit of a streak there as well. They're trying to build a name for themselves as the Mirage team. But as we know, Gambit have already broken Entropics. I think it was, what, 9-match win streak over on that map just yesterday by 16-0 in them, for crying out loud. Flash into short for Axel. Yeah, doesn't get the kill. But at this point, you know, you're not fretting. You're not worrying if you're Gambit. You're going, oh, they're both short XD. Let's wreck them, boys. You've got the bomb out in the open. Na'Vi aren't really in a position to even believe, you know, in a round like this. They've struggled in far better situations. Shiro holding that bomb doesn't often miss these. There's even the con wrap coming in, but it might not be needed because Inters and Shiro are going to lock it in. Gambit go a map up in the CIS Grand Final, and now we've got Na'Vi's pick and Mirage just around the corner.